What's happening?
What's going on, everyone? What's happening out there?
Pardon the crunching and munching, y'all. I didn't have a chance to really eat anything.
There's so many things I was going to say there, but never mind. What's going on, everybody? What the hell? Is it a
Chicken
chicharron?
fries. Chicken fries.
Chicken fries. They're not advertising for us, so we don't mention. We're eating random national.
I'm eating random meat sticks.
Oh, phrasing for 400, please. Gosh, dog. Yeah. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back, or welcome to the Battle Bros podcast with Mac and Alamo. I am Mac, and this beautiful, magnanimous SOB, this is Alamo. And I say SOB because he is a son of Boricua, because, he's the only kind of Puerto Rican that matters, and that's the Puerto Rican that was born in New York. So, nothing against people down on the island. That sounded wrong. That sounded better in my head, so I'm going to shut up now. So
it's okay. At least you're saying son of Boricua and not son of a bitch. Mom would, definitely spank you.
That's SOP. That's right.
Huh? What?
What's the word for bitch? I forget.
Puto.
Yeah. What's a P? So it'd be SOP, not SOB. I'm not trying to suck at two languages there, buddy. Anyway, if you haven't been on our show before, thanks for stopping by. If you have, welcome back. We are two friends who have known each other way too long, who have irrelevant conversations, irreverent, nonsensical conversations about whatever we decide to talk about. So, yeah,
right.
if you would like to, and if you think you like this, what you're seeing, give us a shout by liking, subscribing, and hitting the notification bell on all of our social media. We're on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, the whole 9 yards. You name it, we probably have it. Give us a look, give us a like, give us a check out.
Make sure you like, share, subscribe. Sharing is the most important part.
Because
and hit
the little
that notification bell on
the fake little fuzzy bear said it best. Sharing is caring. So, if you caught our show last week, we had a good conversation about.
Wasn't that Teddy Ruxpin?
Dude, I don't know. Apparently, the bit that we were just doing before the thing, Mom comes out and she was like, "That's two different bits, you guys. Bits are back. You idiots are mashing together. Learn your shit. How about it?" I'm like, "Wow, that's awesome." When Mom calls me out, and she's like, not that she's not ever right. It's just like, I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed. It's so much worse. I had to explain that to somebody today. I was explaining that to my boss. I told her that, and she's like, "I'm not disappointed." I'm like, no. So that's from Jackass. I think Dunn or Knoxville said that stuff about their parents. Like, I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed. It's so much worse, But anyway, if you caught our show last week, we had a special guest come on, a gentleman by the name of Josh Rhodes, who is one of the pastors at, what is the name of your church again?
Shout out to you there, Josh. Love you, buddy.
Yeah, man. Thanks for being on the show, bro.
Cornerstone Church in Deltona.
Cornerstone Church in Deltona. He's one of the small group pastors, and we had a chat last week about the faith of the American warrior. So, special thanks to Josh for coming. He has a pretty interesting story to check out. So.
Great episode too, guys. You should check that out.
Yeah, it was. All of our episodes are great, but I've been told I'm a little biased. There's all those people I say, "Shick my balls, Mr. Garrison. Shick my balls." Anyway, I don't know why that came. I said that.
Okay, Mr. Hyatt.
Hi, it's Mr. Hickey, the Christmas Pooh.
Oh God, I hope we don't get copyright for that.
I hope not.
Oh shit!
Do they look at us and go, "We're not going to copyright these two guys? They're idiots."
Yeah.
All right. Save us again. Anyway. Jeez, we've been laughing too much already, man.
Yeah.
Oh my God. How do we do this shit? How do we do a podcast and not get freaking?
I don't know.
Good God. So we kind of have we're gonna do a slightly different kind of show today. We're gonna kind of tell you a story first, folks, before we tell you what the title's about. So a few weeks back, earlier in the month in March, I got some correspondence from a friend of mine named Nicole. Nicole, I met through our good buddy Brian. Brian and Nicole served together in an aviation unit out over in the St. Pete Clearwater area. And she is a pretty awesome person. She'd deny it. She'd be like, she'd be a little bit modest, but no, for real, she's an awesome person. She started a support group, which I was going into and being part of for a while at a church in Zephyr Hills called Protecting the Line. Very, very pro military, pro veteran, pro first responder, cop, fire, EMS, the whole 9 yards. Really kind of gave you a good sense of like, okay, what we're doing. There's people that give a crap. There's people that, thank you for what you're doing. They're not just out there to say, hey, all cops are bastards or whatever, blah, blah, blah. So,
or whatever the hell they're saying nowadays. Sons of, excuse me.
That's a different kind of SOB. But anyway, so kind of fell out of touch with Nicole for a while, but she reached out and was like, hey, there's this thing going on and their tickets are free. Just, sign up online, all that kind of stuff. Check it out. So I told this guy right over here, I said, hey man, I said, we got this, there's this thing coming up. It looks kind of cool. I got 2 tickets. They're free. Let's check it out. He's like, yeah, dope. So, it was, see, now we're laughing so much. I got a raspy frog throat going on. So we went to this thing. Basically it was at a horse ranch up in Webster, Florida, and it's called Peaceful Pastures. Nicole is one of the interns. If you're looking live, Alamo's going to share the screen with you right now. This is their website and whatnot. So Peaceful Pastures Ranch is it's a nonprofit that kind of specializes with equine therapy, horse therapy, basically. And I really didn't know what to expect walking into the place.
Yeah.
But we after we finally crossed over the railroad tracks, we had to wait on for like 30, 40 minutes. Thanks, CSX, you turds. We finally got over the tracks and through the woods and stuff. And it's a beautiful little piece of property up there in Webster. And Nicole is one of the interns up there. She just graduated with a degree. Congrats, Nicole, for that, on that accomplishment. I know that's a big deal. Basically, she is interning to get certified as a licensed mental health counselor, and invited us up there and stuff. So I was thinking, okay, it's been a while since I rode a horse. I don't know, don't even ride a damn horse. I'm like, oh, okay, I'm good with that. So the name of the lady that runs the place is Jessica, and shout out to Jessica and her husband. They're both fantastic, wonderful people. Jessica has a very interesting story. She was going to college to go into the field of social work, and she had that's a picture of Jessica right there, isn't it?
That is her.
That's her. Yeah, that's a cow though. That's not a
It's
not a horse.
She has a picture of everything on there.
Oh, yeah. So Jessica went to college to go get her degree in social work, and as she entered her last semester, she had a cousin who was was about 1 month away from retiring, and unfortunately, this cousin committed suicide. So,
yeah,
it just absolutely wrecked her. She was very close with this family member. She's like, people were telling her like, hey, take the, go ahead and take the time off, just give yourself time. She's like, no, they wouldn't want me to do that. I need to just go finish this up, get it done, yada, yada, yada. So she kind of ended up just changing her complete trajectory of her life. She ended up becoming a therapist. She's been doing that, I think, 7 years. Did she say, Alamo? Was that about right?
I think so, yeah.
She's been doing this about 7 years. In this place, how long has the ranch been open? Like
Since 2020.
2020. So it's only 3 years old. So you go out there, and it was quite fascinating. Being a behavior therapist, it was interesting to look at it from a different kind of perspective. So, like, we started off, and there's these beautiful animals out there.
Oh God, yeah.
There were two horses in the kind of the corral area, and they had 2 small mini horses. And what they would do is you're walking around with either a bucket of feed or you've got like a handful of treats and stuff. Excuse me. And what you would have to do is they would start off by talking about different things that stress you out. Name some stressors in your normal life. And people are like, money, health. And somebody said the VA. And I think I said anxiety. She turned around. She's like, yep, you and me. Yep. So they would take those stickies and stick them on the back of the horse. Okay. So then what's interesting is you're trying to basically keep all of the horses, which represent all of the stressors, away from you while you're trying to keep your space and all that stuff. But just kind of keep them around, but recognize them, keep them at bay, but just also acknowledge them and don't just shut them out completely. Like they're there, but keep them at arm's length. And the horses, they're used to this. So they're just trying to go around and this, that, and the other, and you're just like they're trying to get to the feed, so it's a little intimidating, especially with some of these horses. I haven't been around horses in a long time, so I'm just like, yeah, Alamo over here just jumps in there like, yep, it's good, yep, back off, horsey, back off, horsey. So we start off doing that, and you kind of just
that's why.
Don't get me wrong, dude, I love animals too, and all these horses were just amazing. So that was kind of the first part, and we kind of broke down, talk about that afterwards, and then we had lunch, and then we went off and we went to the kind of a far corner of the property. They have I think 25 acres out there, and they're butted up. The property is butted up right next to the Rich Loam Wildlife Management Area. So there's like 55,000 acres out there, which is just amazing. But I mean, it was just amazing. It was awesome. So we go to the second part.
We want to talk about peaceful.
Oh yeah, dude. Like you can't even hear any road noise. Like only thing you hear is the occasional horse whinny. And
I was so fucking zen after that whole experience, man.
Roll down. Keep going down. Phoenix. That was that damn horse's name. Okay, Phoenix.
Oh yeah, that was one of the ones that we were dealing with. Yeah,
Phoenix is that one, and then Penny was the other one. Yeah.
And Steel. It was Steel. Penny and Steel.
That was it. Yep.
Or Phoenix and Steel. Sorry.
Phoenix and Steel, and then the little guys were there's Steel.
That was a mean sucker.
Yeah, and apparently Steel is a retired HCSO mounted posse horse.
He was a service horse, yeah.
Yep. Donated PPR.
I was able to hug his
go
big ass.
Go up a little bit. Go up a little bit.
Huh?
Keep going. Scrolling down.
I'll scroll down.
Yeah, Steel. Yeah, PPR, donated PPR by Hillsborough County Sheriff's deputy who was trained for mounted police work, but did not possess the right temperament for the career they needed him for. So,
which basically is a nice way of saying he was a little.
He's got anxiety.
Yeah.
So, anyway, one of the other cool parts that they did is they kind of took us over, probably like a good 5-minute walk away from where the stables were, and went under. Was it Waffles? It was. Oh, those are two little guys right there. Keep going. Red and Teddy. So, if you're not watching this live, it doesn't make a lot of sense because actually Alamo's looking at the webpage and they're showing all the different horses that they have out there, and it's just amazing because one of the things you do while you're out there is you just grab a brush and you just start kind of making that connection with these horses, and it's just just so calming and just zen.
Yeah.
And you're just like. Ugh. Kind of thing.
Yeah.
So we did the first part. We did the first two things, and afterwards we take that little 5-minute walk out to a grove of trees that's on the one side of the property. And Jessica led us through a mindfulness breathing activity. So we're sitting there, and yeah, that's Jessica. Ryan's her husband, who is on the left, and then this other picture is Woody. That's the guy I want. That's not the Marine, is it?
No. The Marine that we met out there, he's not on the list because I think he's still fairly new.
Okay,
so they don't have him. Yeah, they don't have him listed on there, but Nicole is listed here.
So we go under this grove of trees, and Jessica leads us through a mindfulness breathing exercise. So we're sitting here and it's, it's talking about, she's got a great voice. She's like, I'm sorry ahead of time. People say my voice puts them to sleep. I'm like, no, not at all. She's sitting there talking. She's like, just imagine the weight coming off your shoulders, going down to your hands. Your hands are, and she's got that great NPR voice. She's like, now imagine the weight of the world rolling off of your shoulders into your hands. And you're sitting here.
Have you ever used anyone has used Headspace? It's kind of like that.
Is that the one the app that Matthew McConaughey's on?
No, Headspace. It's ran by a guy that used to be that was once a Buddhist monk.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, it's insanely freaking
quick sidebar story. There was a video. One of the things I used to watch, and we'll talk about this in a minute. One of the shows I used to watch a little bit of was Graham Norton show out of the UK. Graham Norton is freaking hilarious, right? So Michael Bublé was on there, and he's talking about. He goes, Graham Norton's like, so interesting enough. Did you know that Michael Bublé has something in common with Matthew McConaughey? Matthew McConaughey's like, oh. He's like, yeah. He's like, my wife and I, we share the bed with you every night. And he goes, all right. It's kind of the thing. But Matthew McConaughey does this like app where he's just like, let's take a little trip off to La La Land. We're going to imagine that we're laying in bed. Everything's nice and cool, and everything's going to be all right. So Michael Bublé's wife is like Spanish, and she's just like, Mike, the guy is talking to me again. The app is talking. Can you get him to shut up, Mike? You'll have to find the clip on YouTube. It's so good. But anyway, but it's kind of like that. So Jessica is doing just a wonderful job. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, these three horses come up, and it was Bear, River, and Bitcoin. Now, Bitcoin was probably my favorite out of the three of them. I know it's a weird name for a horse, but Bitcoin.
Bear let me hug him, so he was mine.
Yeah, I mean, I think I got close to Bear and River. I mean, I only petted Bitcoin once or twice, but Bitcoin is a retired thoroughbred. Like, you can just look at this animal and like, that is a stud right there. Like, he's just it's kind of crazy, gorgeous animal, and I mean, just absolutely just insane. Just for these animals to be around, they're letting you just like, oh hey, what's going on? They're sitting there eating, just mind their business. You walk up, and they're just so soft. That spot right between their nostrils is just the softest.
It's like a little, like a little squishy.
It's like a squishy, yeah. It's like, it's like a squishy. It's just, it's absolutely amazing. And these animals are just so majestic. But besides that, what was really awesome was just the whole environment. I mean, talking from Jessica, Nicole, Ryan, who was there as well. And then you're around. I mean, it was a vet event. So it was like a bunch of veterans around. It was really cool. They had a raffle ticket for like a hockey stick signed by Nikita Kucherov.
Wasn't it? It was sponsored by, I believe it was the other group that was out there, which was the Veteran Approved Network, right? Was it sponsored by them, or was it?
I think it had something. You just had it up on the. You just had it up on the screen, I think. But yeah, it was like the Vet Approved Network or something like that. It's the Tampa Van, which is the Vet Approved Network. Yeah. But just what a wonder! Like, dude, after the week I had last week, I drove that hour drive home from Webster back to Tampa, and I was just like,
shout out to Veteran Approved Network too.
Yes, I mean and here's the funny thing too, is like, we didn't go there to hawk our podcast.
Right.
However, it would behoove you to just kind of talk to people about what you're about, because next thing you know, we're all sitting here.
Connections are made.
Connections are made. It's like, hey, this is how awesome things start and all that kind of stuff. So I tell you that, folks, because this was horse therapy. So this episode that we're going to talk about, we're going to kind of not be too long of the tooth. This is episode 060 of the Battle Bros podcast, entitled The Many Faces of Therapy. So
indeed,
we Alamo and I both left there, and we were just like, dude, that was amazing. Like, this is exactly what we needed. Holy crap. Like, it was awesome. So we were, we spent a good for 3 or 4 hours there, and just had a fantastic time. Made some great contacts with some folks in the vet approved network. We made some contacts with folks that worked for Pasco County. A young lady there, I don't remember your name offhand. I apologize for being a shit person, but she is one of the administrators for the Parks and Recreation Department, and helps to put on the Stomp Out Suicide Run. So it's like, like we definitely need to exchange some information here, all that good stuff. So we were just kind of talking earlier in the week, and we were like, dude, let's talk about like therapy and like self-care and stuff, because this is the kind of shit that we need to do more often. Especially like last week, I just had an absolute garbage week. Like it was so rough, and nothing against anybody. I'm not trying to single anybody out. It was just, there's a lot of different irons in the fire. There's a lot of different things going on. I was just like, like the saving grace of last week was like 5 minutes before the podcast last week. We jumped on, we started giggling and laughing like idiots. I talked to Josh. We had a great interview, had a great show, and I was just like, I'm jazzed. I'm just like, yeah, let's absolutely go. So because of all that, we wanted to talk to, and again, shout out to Nicole and Jessica and everybody there at Peaceful Pastures Ranch. Thank you for the invitation and for the wonderful experience. It's great because they are pro-veteran, pro-military. I believe they do first responders as well, but they also do therapy for the family. So you can bring your kids out there, which is awesome.
Which is pretty damn dope.
Yeah, if we get to go next year, I'm definitely bringing the daughter, and you should bring the boys and the wife and all that kind of good stuff. So we figured like I said, we talked about therapy, and like kind of not just, we're not going to laser focus in on one specific thing, but just kind of talk about different things altogether. So let's break down what we need to break down. Therapy. Yes, what exactly is therapy? So therapy is treatment intended to relieve or heal a disorder. Anything that helps bring peace to your mind and or demeanor. I think I wrote the second definition on that one, because if you think about it, like, everything we found with therapy, like, and you'll see here in a little bit, there's a lot of stuff in here that is very much like very much laid out. This is what you got to do, all this kind of stuff, yada yada. But there's also some other stuff too. So, and the other definition I wanted you to hear is the definition of self-care. Self-care is defined as the practice of taking action to preserve or improve one's own health. It's also defined as the practice of taking an active role in protecting one's own well-being and happiness, in particular during periods of stress. Like we just talked about, both of us had just garbage weeks because we had stuff going on, and we came here and we're just like, yeah, like I want to get together, hold hands, and sing Kumbaya. Not really, but that's kind of the feeling I have. So it's like, so it was, and it's, I left there and drove home. It's like, that's exactly what I needed. Like, that is where I was supposed to be that day at that time. It was fantastic. So as I mentioned, we're going to kind of just do like a broad conversation about this, talk about a lot of different things. So some of the, traditional commonplace types of therapies you see are going to be any one of a lot of different things. You have animal assisted therapy, which is kind of what we did today. Applied behavior analysis, that is the field that I work in. Behavioral activation, bibliotherapy, biofeedback, coaching, cognitive behavioral therapy, cognitive processing therapy. You have emotionally focused therapy, equine assisted therapy. All kind of different things. You have some stuff on here, humanistic therapy, hypnotherapy. That seems to be pretty popular.
Not really all about people shutting off the side of my brain that allows me to say "fuck no." Yeah, so I probably would never do something like that. Although I've heard it helps out a lot of people, but that's
noted.
Not this guy.
Noted, my good man. Noted.
Yeah.
But they have a lot of different things on here. You have mentalization-based therapy, mindfulness-based cognitive therapy, multicultural therapy, music therapy, narrative, neurofeedback, play therapy, all kinds of different stuff. You have just, I mean, there's things on here I had to look up. I'm like, what the hell are they talking about? So you have that kind of stuff. So then we started looking around and we had alternative methods. So these are kind of things that kind of probably come more from the East. Um, just some different types of stuff going on in this one. So you have here, let's see, where is that list? I probably should have put this up before I jumped on here to start the damn show. Oh, here we go. Okay. So you have, different therapies can include a lot of different things, such as dietary supplements to promote health and wellness, to treat pain, depression, anxiety.
Mhm.
There's certain food compounds you can use to help
I
create,
actually am a
relieve
very
pain.
big proponent for that. The
Yeah.
dietary supplement, I'm a very big proponent for that. Things like calming, like calming herbs, teas, and things like that, like chamomile, all types of good stuff like that. Stuff that helps, like, just
just kind of
gets you
alleviate
just
the
centered. You know what I mean?
centered, and helps to enhance the calm,
Hell
maintain
yeah.
low tones, all that kind of stuff. So Brian was actually telling me he has a certain blend. He gave me one or two of the tea bags of this tea that he uses, but he's like, this is what I use when I want to shut my brain down for the night. I brew some
Yeah.
water, I get some water steaming, I brew the tea, and I drink this, and it just kind of like, and it's like,
Yeah. That's the way it goes, baby.
Speaking of, what'd you say, chamomile?
Chamomile.
I've been
just
drinking
it
a
depends, man.
blend from Walmart. It's honey vanilla chamomile, and it is like right as rain, dude. It is,
Yeah.
it's
Nice.
so soothing. It's nice. I try to drink a lot of green tea when I can too. I know green tea is good for antioxidants and all that kind of stuff.
Green tea, believe it or not, even though it has quite a bit of fucking caffeine in
Here we
it,
go. Here goes Alamo's dietary nerd stuff going on.
even though it's no, but seriously, like even though it has like a good, even though it has like a good amount of caffeine in it, it's really really good at not only bringing you down, like it's one of those caffeines that's good at boosting your metabolism without freaking making you all just like it actually has more of a calming effect than it does anything else, which is why green tea is used in so many different Asian cultures. Like the Chinese use it and brew brew it, and the Japanese and all of them, they use the green tea because it's so good at helping just do so many damn good things for your body, and it helps not only that, but it also helps break down a lot of the like greasy foods and things like that we eat. You know what I mean?
I'm gonna throw a curveball here for a minute.
Yarp.
Have you in the past, or do you consume kombucha? You ever had that before? It's a fermented drink.
Tried it.
I have a very good friend of mine. She is from Japan. She's from Okinawa, and she is, I would say, probably pretty healthy of an eater. I mean, you wouldn't believe. I'm not trying to call her out or anything, but you would think she's a lot younger looking than she is. You're like, there's no way you're how old? What? No. There's you have a child that just turned 21. Are you shitting me? Like, she looks very, but she takes care of herself, and she's drinking tea and all this kind of stuff, and she would eat sushi quite a bit.
The benefits of tea,
like,
bro. You'd be surprised.
Man, it's amazing.
Absolutely surprised.
So, dietary supplements is one. Meditation. This is something I probably need to try to start getting into a little bit more. Just meditating, so
I actually have a comment on that one, brother. I don't do it as often as I should. I really, really don't, especially considering, I'm still, unfortunately, I'm still kind of working through anger issues. I've come down so much. Yeah, but I've come down so much so just off of doing my therapy and shit like that. But dude, meditation, especially if you do it with like, I'm not gonna lie, I try to do with like frequency music or like things like Hemisync and things like that, because it allows you to just kind of just relax, loosen and it kind of activates those points in your brain where it kind of just tunes things out. You start to tune certain things out of your mind, so that way you're able to focus on just
Yeah.
what is my body doing? How am I reacting? Why am I getting so upset? Let me just relax.
For never having been through it with somebody like a guided meditation session,
Yeah.
I kind of felt like when we were doing that mindfulness breathing exercise under that bank of trees, that's kind of to me
Dude,
felt
that was
probably
meditation.
that's probably the
That was
closest thing to
meditation, bro.
meditation that I've ever experienced on
That
like
is
with
meditation.
somebody. So
I'm telling you,
yeah, I
dude.
mean,
Keep
just
doing
like
it.
this the subtle suggestion and like you're sitting here, I'm like, yeah, my shoulders feel a lot lighter. I don't feel like I'm stooped over with all the stress of the world on my ass and
No.
stuff. But it was, man, it was just it was like such a cool, like, I don't mean to say this to sound like, you know, somebody who just adopts this crap, but like it was such a zen feeling. It was just
Yeah.
so
Just didn't tell you, but you were technically practicing meditation, my friend.
awesome.
She was very ninja about it.
Yeah,
She
very ninja.
she was
But then
very
all of a
ninja
sudden you
about
just hear
about it.
the crunching of leaves when those horses just start walking up into your group and stuff. You're just like, whoa, that's kind of dope.
Yeah.
So, all right, let's see. What else do they say for alternative? They have a chiropractic. So, the main theory behind chiropractic practice is that nerve and organ dysfunction is often the result of misaligned vertebrae of the spine. So, there's a lot of, and it's funny, like, I've been getting a lot of these different videos coming up for chiropractors sitting there just like, you know,
Yeah.
cracking people, and they're just like, whoa. I saw a dude crack somebody's ear. There's no bone in that shit. Like, how did he just grabbed her? Like, she went. Oh,
You'd be
she was
surprised.
startled, man. I was like, what?
You'd be surprised what you can crack, man.
Oh my
Because
god.
if you think about it this way, the reason your bones pop is because of the joints between your actual bone.
Right.
There's air pockets or just like sometimes little air bubbles in between the actual like just you know the what the hell am I saying, like the vertebrae and things like that, that when it's moved and twisted in a certain way that adjusts it to be more in place, it's shifting that gas or those air bubbles inside of the joints. And when you hear that pop, all that is just all those air pockets just and moving out of place. It's fucking weird.
I saw a video a while back. They had this guy. He was somewhere over in a European country, and like it looked like he had like spina bifida. Like he was just all like kind of gangly and like crunched over and stuff.
Yeah,
and
he
then
was
slowly but surely, like they started doing this. And next thing you know, the guy's outside walking on his own power. And I was just like, damn, dude, that's insane. Like, there's all these, like, you know, medical technology and medical advances are amazing, but there's still like that stuff, like the ayahuasca stuff that Kyle was talking about. It's just been around for thousands of years. Like, there's got to be a little bit of credence to it. So,
there's a lot of what do they call it? Holistic stuff, like holistic type treatments that I mean, they do the damn job. You know, you don't like. It's like how good old Mako always says, like, you don't want to come out of a freaking hospital with like as if you're holding fucking maracas, like just
smuggling maracas out of the VA hospital, y'all.
And I think there's a lot to be said to that too. Like, there's a lot to be said about, you know, holistics. Here's
a medication for your issue, but then the medication side effects. Here's medication for the medication side effect.
It's like, okay, so my antidepressants are going to make me more depressed, but also give me bleeding of the anus. So I got this one to prevent.
How did I know? How did I know you were going to say that? Like, you were going to say something along those lines, like, may cause bleeding of the anus, headaches, eye pain, and
instant death,
and bad tire wear. Huh? Like, what the shit? Like, the symptoms are worse than the damn disease. Like,
exactly. And it's terrible, dude.
Yeah, it's bad. Let's see what else. So they listed aromatherapy, which is cool. Massage therapy as well. Yoga. Progressive music relaxation. Or I'm sorry. Jesus. Progressive muscle relaxation.
Mm-hmm.
It's been a long week, guys. I'm back to working 40 hours. Bear with my retarded ass.
It's okay.
Spirituality, religion, and prayer.
It's okay to be a little nerner.
Yeah, I speak words. Movement therapy, acupuncture. I've never done that, but that kind of
I consider myself at the gym when I'm at the gym doing movement therapy.
Well, obviously, you're at the Church of Iron.
At the Church of Iron, where you get these big freaking guns.
Hey, hold on. We'll get to that. That's in the third section. We'll get to that. Damn it. Hold on a minute. So you got acupuncture, you got Reiki, you got biofeedback. I can't go on anymore. You got hypnosis. They put you under a spell or something,
Speaking
and
of
they make you look all
acupuncture,
crazy and junk.
speaking of acupuncture, dude,
That was like 16 choices ago, dude.
I
Come
know.
on. Keep up, man.
Well, no, I was trying to get the VA actually offers acupuncture. I think I'm going to sign myself up for that shit.
Oh, really?
Fuck yeah.
Dude, check that out and let me know, man.
Hell yeah. Anyway, go ahead. Sorry.
In some states, it's illegal for psychologists to provide any forms of treatment that involve piercing of the skin. What? That's ridiculous. Anyway, Reiki, like we said, biofeedback,
Acupuncture.
hypnosis, music therapy.
Hey, music therapy, brother. That's right up your alley.
Ethics issues. I mean, listen, I think, but okay, so that's a good segue into this third category. So those are the two we talked about, like commonplace and then alternative. So the third one that we kind of were coming up with was like, what do we do for self therapy / self care? So this is kind of stuff you do on your own. So like I was thinking like immediately when I'm trying to like practice a little bit of self therapy or just take care of myself a little bit. Like I get in the car and go for a drive, dude. There's been many a night where Brian and I have gotten, when he had a Jeep, we got in the Jeep, just drove around, threw the top down, took the doors off, just went for a drive across the bridge. We ended up in Tarpon Springs one night.
Hell yes.
Car ride. That's to me, that's a big one. Getting out and going camping with a kiddo in the backyard, like we're building up to like getting comfortable going out into like a nature park or something. What else? This is a big one. Hiking. I a lot of times if I'm doing like hiking, but like
yes,
a little bit of a twist. So like obviously I'm not around anything where I can just go up a mountain trail. I mean, we don't live in somewhere like Georgia where there's mountains and all that kind of stuff because Florida's pretty flat. Like the highest point in Florida is like 300 feet something.
Yeah.
Like,
and
that's really a whole.
That's right at where the panhandle is.
That's lame.
Yeah.
Like this last year I went out to Utah twice. So like being able to go and just walking down the street, like where I was staying, there was a park about a mile away, and going and walking literally down the road a mile, you would drop about 300 feet in elevation in a mile.
That's my kind of walking,
dude.
Hell
like
yes.
Everybody in Utah was in great shape. I'm like, not trying to eye fuck nobody, but I'm looking, I'm like, damn, that's a nice ass. And I turn around, it was a dude. I'm like, that's still a nice ass. Like that guy must go up and down them trails all the time.
He must do squats.
He must do squats. Yeah. He did some pre-workout, did some squats going up the trails. Oh, I can stop. Damn it.
I got some pre-workout huffing.
Why did you show me that before we're on the show, dude? Come on, man. Now I'm just thinking about this.
Swole Bible, baby.
We'll get to that. So
no, definitely, dude. Hiking is fucking amazing. That's like I mean, I always go back to it, but like Washington State, Arizona, like the fucking like
you and Tisha went out to Arizona a while back, right?
We went to Arizona in 2019. We went on vacation because we had like a free resort stay, and oh my god, dude, just
something about like the Western United States, man. Like just being out there in the mountains and stuff, like
hell yeah.
Okay. Like that work trip I took out to Utah, I had to hit a connecting flight, and I had to land in LAX. Like flying into LAX was a bit of a culture shock. And I'm not talking anything bad about that, but just like flying in and seeing like all the mountains and stuff, I was like, oh, this is where, yeah.
Fuck
And then
yeah.
flying down into Salt Lake City, you're just like, oh yes, this is amazing. Mountains, love that shit.
Dude, when I was stationed in Fort Lewis, I mean, you couldn't really go. Well, excuse me, Joint Base Lewis McCord now.
Well, that's what it is now.
But back then it was Fort Lewis. I mean, just the amount of places you had that were mountain, parts of a mountain like range, or just like it was like Washington State, in my personal opinion, was, even though they had, I mean, most of the year it was like kind of like wet and soggy, but I mean it's not
I
like
think they
Florida
said-
rain though.
It's like average rainfall up there is like 300 days a year.
Yeah,
Like it'll just, and it's like
But
that's kind of like
dude-
that gloomy drizzle rain. You're just like,
yeah.
takes
But
some getting
dude,
used to.
getting out and climbing and walking these and hiking these mountains and these these areas where like in national parks and shit like that, just getting just getting yourself in tune with nature, letting yourself just absorb your surroundings is probably one of the most, in my personal opinion, it's probably one of the most spiritual and yet most calming things you could ever possibly do. Like, I am very much I'm a nature whore. I fucking love going out. I'm just I'm just calling it how it is.
Nature whore.
I
Okay.
love going out in nature, like, and I love
a new one.
I love exploring just new places where I can see, like, oh my god, that's beautiful. Look at how the sun just gleams over that. Look at how this area looks. It's just, I am.
It's kind of like getting out
Ugh.
getting out west of the Rockies, man. You get a lot of that. Like,
Oh hell yeah,
dude,
dude.
I was fortunate to have a window seat flying out there. I'm just looking at all this beautiful terrain. I'm like, this is dope.
Dude,
This is
I'm telling
awesome.
you, I would move out west. Honestly, I really, really would.
I
move
would
out
have
west.
no qualms going out to Utah, like Salt Lake.
Yeah,
It was, everybody out there was just so chill,
Yeah.
Like, I didn't really, and nothing against them, I didn't run into any Mormons or anything like that. I just, that wasn't where I was. They're apparently down in the capital city of Salt Lake and stuff. But like,
you Mormons with your niceness all the time and your special underwear.
but that was the interesting thing, because of the Mormon background and stuff. Like, all the liquor stores out there are state-run liquor
State-run.
stores.
Yeah.
So you can only sell certain things to a certain ABV, which is alcohol by volume. Like,
Mhm.
I know of people where they have, like, they're members of like these wine clubs, and they get these
Yeah.
wines from like California, so they have to like ship them to a PO box that's like right over the state line, kind of thing. So I'm not calling anybody out, but I've heard that that's a thing.
Yeah.
But okay, so yeah, like, now when I say like hiking, rucking or something, I'd kind of do a little bit more of an urbanized hiking. So
Yeah.
basically what I'll do is, like, I like to drive over to Tampa. Kind of depends. Sometimes it's on Davis Island, sometimes it's right there on Bayshore. Or what I really like to do is go down to the Riverwalk area of downtown, and you can start over there in like River Heights, kind of over there where Armature Works is. Alamo, you gotta come back this way, man. We gotta start doing that once or twice, man. It's nice because I'll start off by Armature Works, which is out there by Ulele, which is a great local restaurant and stuff. And I walk all the way through downtown and end up over by the it's what used to be called Channelside. Now it's called Sparkman's Wharf. So I would get there, stop, stretch for a minute,
Isn't that
hydrate
like
a little
named
bit.
after like somebody that owns the Lightning or something? Or
No,
I'm thinking of that wrong.
no. The guy that owns the Lightning is Mr. Vinnick. Mr.
Oh, okay.
Vinnick is
Gotcha.
really awesome dude. I don't. So they kind of they changed Channelside. They took out a lot of the original stores, and they kind of made it to kind of go with the theme of the port here, which is more industrial. So they have like a bunch of these little mini connexes that are stacked up and stuff, and they made little boutique restaurants. Like they have like
Oh,
little
I've
ice cream
seen
shop.
that. I've seen
Yeah.
that.
And there's another
Yeah.
place. There's another place that opened up out in Wesley Chapel called Crate, and it's the same thing. It's those shipping containers, and like you go into one, it's like a dress boutique, or they have one that's like Japanese Korean fusion cuisine or some other. It's
Nice.
badass, man. You and the wife and kids need to come out for a weekend, man. We'll go exploring, dude. for
Japanese
sure.
food, so good.
So I'll hit that area where it used to be called Channel Side, and then I'll turn around and go back, and it ends up being about a 5 mile hike. And I'm usually timing myself, or I'll go out to Davis Island. I usually park down there by the Tampa Bay Women's Club. Right out there, there's a little harbor where they have the two Tampa PD Marine units that are out there, the two boats. I go out there by the Little League field, go down along the channel, out by the airfield. And by the time I hit the back end of the airfield, walking out towards the yacht club, I'll hit 2.5 miles, and I just turn around, walk back, and it's a 5 mile hike. And I try to do 2 to 2.5 miles down Bayshore, turn around, come back up. I mean, it's. I would love to have like a mountain trail or something like Kyle was talking about, but we're in the city, so you got to do what you got to do. But just getting out and get some fresh air, you smell the salt water.
Being
and
an
stuff.
urban adventurer every once in a while.
It's just weird. I usually put on like all my camis, and I got my flick and my salt pack, and they're like, "Why is this dude walking around in BDUs?"
I would say people probably look at you like,
Who is this big headed
I don't know
ass
what
dude
this
in the
guy-
camo? The camo doesn't hide the fact he's got a big ass nugget.
Domer
Simpson.
pile.
Oh. Anyway, moving right along. So, and I asked a few
Yes.
people that I know as well, and they said, one of the things they do for therapy is they go to the beach. Get that what
that
they
was
call
another thing I used to do when we were in Tampa. Fuck yes.
vitamin C, vitamin SEA, vitamin C. So, doing all that kind of stuff. So Alamo and I were talking about this, and there's different things like we talked about earlier, like going for a ride. I put Jeep therapy. Me and Brian get out and jump in the Jeep and just kind of go out and get some fresh air, get the wind whipping around. It's all good.
Yeah.
Recoil therapy,
Pew pew.
pew pew therapy, recoil therapy. So not just that, but what's also Brian's trying to call me right now. That's funny. So I just looked over and it's like, Brian calling.
Him, Brian, forgot it.
But and it's not just so. What's also good, like there's kind of like two sides of that. The first half of that coin being like going to the shooting range, and I look at it like this. There's a lot of these different activities where I can focus on something just enough to kind of distract my brain from everything else going on.
Yes.
Like Alamo, you go to the gym, you bang,
Hell
clang,
yes.
you bang and clang weights, man. Like
Fuck yeah.
I go for a hike and like just to kind of get some kind of like physical exertion going on. to
I
kind of
do
feel a
the
little bit of
gym
pain.
because I don't have mountains to hike.
There you go.
That would be so much more exciting for me.
I'm not a muscly guy, so I do the walking thing. Shut up. Anyway, but what I find is just as therapeutic as shooting guns is cleaning them,
Cleaning
like
'em.
breaking them down. Like I'll take my whole table, bust them down, break them all down, get all the parts, and like I'll usually have some music on just to kind of for background noise.
Yeah.
And I sit there, and you just have the time to clean out all the different parts, the BCG, the firing pin, the mags, clean out the action, clean out the slide, the barrel, all that kind of stuff on handguns or whatever your weapon choice is. But that to me is very just calming, soothing. I can focus on something. It distracts me from everything else. Kind of just go into my own little world with the music on. It's I just don't go shooting enough, but I will kind of get the guns out, clean stuff. Let's see. Some people, what did they say? Gym therapy. You mentioned that. The Church of Iron.
The Church of Iron.
So okay, so to allude to what the hell we're talking about. So right before the show starts, Alamo's like, "Hey man, I got to show you this clip. It's funny as shit." I'm like, "Okay." And it's this dude. What was the name of the channel again?
It was Bro Science.
Bro Science. So it's kind of this guy. You could tell he hits the weights. He kind of, and I'm not saying anything bad about this particular gentleman, but he kind of fits a certain stereotype.
One of my
Big guy. He's in good shape. He's got tats all the way down, bald head, beard, kind of got a little bit of a Bostonian accent, talks a little bit like a masshole. So
No,
he's sitting here,
New Jersey. He's from Jersey.
Jersey, my mistake, big difference. So he's sitting there, he's like, "Hey, sorry, I was out of incognito. I took a little bit of a pre-workout and a computer duster right to the old brain box, right up the old
So I was in a
schnoz."
coma for a couple of weeks.
And yeah, bills rack up when you're not around, dude. When you're not working, bills rack up. Bills rack up. I'm just
That's
like,
one of the few things that still keep coming when you're out when you're in a coma. Go figure.
so he was in the video. He was doing. He had a bracket for the worst gym influencers or some shit
Yeah,
like this,
the
and he was
worst gym
breaking down all
influencers,
these
yeah.
different types of people, and you just can't help but laugh.
Yep.
And Alamo, and that's why my voice is so raspy. I'm literally laughing till I'm fucking choking over here.
One of my favorite ones was there was a video he did, and we can get back to that. We can get back on subjects. Is
See,
he?
you're
He
doing this thing that you're like.
he was
Because you were-
talking about I don't remember what the hell happened, but it was hilarious because at a certain point he breaks out and he goes, "So just the way you like the ladies, here's the one thing that you got to do. But so if there's a question, right? Do you eat ass? Right?
Oh my
This is a
God.
yes. This is a yes or yes question." He said, "Like what the?" I was like, "What?"
The point I'm trying to the point of, you shut up. The point I'm trying to make here. One of the things
Oh,
I do quite a
Jesus.
bit for like self-care and therapy is I just try to find funny, like dumb funny shit on the internet, like
Yes.
YouTube.
Yes.
Like, I sit there and I watch
I like
out,
watching
like-
fail videos. Those always get me laughing.
Fail Army. Yeah. Fail Army is great. But I like to watch like YouTube. Dude, I'll tell you, man, what I think is great. I love watching stand up because like you
Yeah.
you can understand so much about somebody and their position and their culture that's different from yours through humor. You know, like the
Yes.
funny thing is like Alamo, tell me if I'm wrong, dude. And I have my own opinion about this, but like marriage jokes when you're single are funny because they're funny. Marriage jokes when you're married are funny because that shit's fucking true. You're just
Yes.
like,
I'll admit, like one of the things I do, and I mean, obviously, you're very well aware of this. Like, I'm a gamer, so
yeah,
you
I
know,
get that.
it's just one of those things that, like, you know, it just allows me to just shut my brain off, and I'm able to just focus. Especially like one of my favorite games to play is Battlefield. I mean,
Yeah.
say
Everybody's
what you
got their
will,
fix.
guys.
I get that.
Say what you will, guys. Battlefield, I like it. I mean, a lot of people are like, "Oh, Call of Duty's better."
Where the hell's your screen for your microphone? Did you take it off?
I did. I didn't want it to get in the way of the camera.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
See your ugly ass mug, whatever. So there's this video.
I threw you off with that one, didn't I?
I'm thinking about this video. I'm not thinking about you there, dumb dick.
Whatever you say there, bitch.
Whatever there, guy. Forgot to tweeze your eyebrows, you metrosexual little punk. No, it's like this. Can I get the little? Anyway, so I a lot of times, like if I'm hanging out with my mom, because I'm with my mom. Shut up, haters. We just watch funny stuff, and like there's a really good series on YouTube called Hot Ones.
Yes.
And it's this guy.
I subscribed.
Is it Sean Taylor? I think his name is
Yes, I think so.
Sean
Dude,
Evans.
You could buy all of his hot sauces.
Yes, that's all great stuff, and that some of them looked really fascinating and like looked really tasty. But like,
Fuck yeah.
he is probably the best interviewer, hands down. Like you're having to answer questions about stuff while you're eating hot wings, and your brain is having an aneurysm and melting in your nugget. Like that's such a cool concept because it keeps things honest. It just adds that level playing field kind of stuff. And this guy, like, props to Sean because he does his fucking homework. Like he sits there and he'll research it. And like he did one with John Bernthal, and he was asking about being in like this community theater. And John's like, "Whoa, like how did you know about that?"
He
man?
trained
like,
in Russia.
Yeah,
That's where he learned how to act. He trained in Russia.
it's like
His
insane.
backstory is amazing. For anybody not trying to really plug his.
Let's not get derailed too much here, buddy.
I
We're
know,
talking
not
about
trying to not trying to plug his podcast, but I kind of am. Look up his podcast.
the real ones.
The real ones, amazing. He talks
He had,
about him being in Russia in training, and it's
He just
just
had on
amazing.
What's his name? Vincent Vargas, the guy who Vincent Vargas is one of the guys that was involved. He was in Range 15 with Matt Best and all those guys.
Yeah.
He plays one of the characters on that show, Mayans MC, which is a spin-off of Sons of Anarchy. It takes place in like that same universe, but he's also got his own. He's got his own veteran thing.
He's a prior Ranger.
He was a Ranger. He retired as an E7. He was on the special ops guys for the Border Patrol. He has a thing called Veteran, which is like just being a better veteran type stuff, and it's like it's kind of an interesting concept. Cool dude. He got into acting and writing and directing, all that kind of stuff. He had him on there. He also John Bernthal also interviewed a guy by the name of Nick Kumalatsos. He's the one that got involved with that company I showed you about, Johnny Slicks.
Yes.
He also has like a thing called the Agogi. He has a training thing called the Agogi, and he was talking about how he goes out and gets grounded and like just kind of goes, puts his feet in the sand on the beach and hears the waves crash, all that kind of shit. But anyway, so back to it. Like I try to find as much funny stuff as I can. So like my face hurts from laughing. I got a stitch in my side. I freaking love watching the uncensored clips from the latest iteration of Whose Line Is It Anyway with Ryan Stiles, Greg Proof, Colin Mockery, Wayne Brady, because all those guys are getting on up there in age. They're like, they don't give a fuck. Like they're gonna drop some stuff. They're just gonna like say whatever they want to say, and it's just like it's hilarious.
That's how comedy's supposed to be, man. It's not supposed to be filtered, censored, none of that shit. Comedy is like, comedy for a reason, man.
Old school stuff like Carlin, Robin Williams when he did his live thing. There's a couple of newer guys that I've been watching. Andrew Schultz, he's a guy that's out of like New York or something. Really street smart kind of dude, but like his crowd work is phenomenal. Bill Burr, Sebastian Maniscalco. He's got a new movie coming out. Sebastian Maniscalco. He's got a movie coming out where Robert De Niro plays his dad. It's like, how fucking awesome is that? That guy is hilarious. Like I saw him. A good friend of mine showed me. I watched his stand up for the first time, and I just sat there and laughed my nuts off. Like that guy was so fucking funny. But laughing, watching funny stuff. That's kind of like one of my big therapies, just to kind of keep myself grounded. Like I'll find myself watching something. Next thing you know, I'm like, fuck, I've been up for 4 hours. It's 3 a.m. I probably go to sleep. I gotta get up at 6. But let's see.
I've been there too, dude.
Yeah, man.
Obviously,
like, you just
gaming,
can't.
though.
It's like put down the damn phone. But I know I've asked a couple of ladies, and they said one of the big things that they do is the mani-pedi, like just going out and like that's kind of like therapy in a way. It's a little bit of self-care. Just going out, just kind of like
it makes sense, dude. Because like, I mean, people are treating their feet, like they're pampering them, like they're it's almost like getting a massage because as you're like getting the calluses and all that crap rubbed off of the heel and all that shit, it's got to be a relaxing experience. You know what I mean? It's got to be.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm just looking at my notes here. I wrote down one other thing. Oh, so something
more thing.
Something I'm going to try to start getting into is doing a little bit more reading. So this is going to be one of the books I'm going to try to read here sometime soon. This is the
shout out to G Nizzle.
Shout out to Dr. G. 7 Layers of Successful Relationships by Dr. Gino Kalura. He was a guest on our show back at the end of season 2.
Where did you
44.
end up picking that up, by the way?
I ordered it off of Amazon. $20.
No shit.
$20 on Amazon, dude.
I gotta get myself a copy.
Do it. Bet you won't. Bet. Bet. So yeah, that's kind of like the different things that I do. I try to go outside and just kind of go for a walk or something.
Yeah.
My daughter's real big into like after dinner. She wants to go for a walk around the retention pond in front of our house and just kind of helps to settle everything and just kind of we have a little talk and kind of chit chat. She picks my brain about stuff. So she tells me, and this is great because this is what she tells me today. She goes, "Daddy, opinion question." I'm like, okay. She goes, Would you rather? I'm like, here we go. She goes, would you rather? Would you rather? I'm like, Would you rather fart and have it be super stinky but quiet? Or would you rather have a super loud fart that doesn't stink? And I'm just like, where the fuck is this coming from, child? Like, seriously. She goes, oh, friends at school. I'm like, no, I don't like these. Like, so this kind of made me flash back to when I was in the Army. We had our first sergeant Yeager. He was in First Ranger Battalion, then he came to the Florida Guard. And whenever they were out in the field and they were serving chow, he'd ask you these like ridiculous questions. And like I just kind of ended up being one of the guys that got picked on because I was like, he's like, hey man, would you suck a dude's jong for a freaking $1 million? I'm like, nope. He goes, you're full of shit. I'm like, no, first sergeant, I'm not. I said, he goes, why not? I'm like, because once you do it, like you're going to be labeled for life. He goes, listen here, soldier. $1 million buys a lot of toothpaste. Next, I'm just like, no, man, no.
Oh man,
It's like once you let go of your morals, you are done. No,
yeah.
like that wisdom therapy, like that's crap. Like here we go with this. So, but yeah, so this is kind of why we wanted to talk about therapy, just because of the experience we had. Again, shout out again to Peaceful Pastures Ranch up in Webster, Florida. Check them out. It's a great thing they got going on. It's a cool idea. It's fantastic. The facility is awesome. The people there are just absolutely top notch, amazing. Nicole, Jessica, everybody there. If you forgot your name, apologize. We're not trying to do it on purpose. We met so many people there, and like we ended up just talking about so much stuff. But it was just absolutely just a cool experience. So we want to talk about therapy and like what therapy looks like for you guys. It's important if the little things here and there, like if you can go and take a trip or something, take a vacation, man, do that stuff. Absolutely. Alamo's putting it up again here. So if you're watching live,
and if you are watching live and you are and you have access to a phone or something that can scan a QR code, the QR code to get to the website is right here.
And you can always go back, and if you're not watching it live, you can always go back onto Facebook. We're at the 1 hour. So we're going to be at the 1 hour and 2 minute mark, 1 hour, 2 minute, and about 30 seconds. We'll have that up there.
Also for the Veteran Approved Network as well. If you want to, if you're a business looking to link up with the Veteran Approved Network, so that you can essentially get together and find yourself some time to do some work with the Veteran Approved Network. This is your QR code right
again.
here.
I will say I did not have the intention of going up there and trying to promote the show and just kind of hawk our stuff and whatnot. But I tell you, it was good timing. It was, we made a lot of good connections there. We met some really cool people that were just all about, helping other people out, especially the veteran community and whatnot. So it was just, man, it was a great day. It was a great weekend. It was only like a 4-hour thing, but it was just fantastic. So, that's our chat on the many faces of therapy, and you can understand why we call it that now, because therapy can come in any one way, many shapes, or forms.
The long and short of it, man. Yeah, like fucking therapy is not just how does that make you feel?
Yeah, some guys sitting on a cat. Oh shit!
There, you just dropped it. There's a lot more to therapy than just sitting in a room with someone, and I think therapy by itself,
can't edit that out. Nope.
Therapy by itself has a very negative, and I mean, like especially in our community, has a very negative. Jesus, what's the word? Help me out, brother. I'm blanking out on the word.
Stigma.
Yes, has a very negative stigma to it, and a lot of guys, because they're thinking, oh, how does that make you feel? They're thinking about shit like that. They don't go and seek the help that they need, and we're here to show you guys, like,
there's more to therapy than just sitting in a room with some, with some coat. I mean, no offense to those people that do that job. I'm sure a lot of them give a damn and they really want to do good in the world, but it's just not the right steps for some, if not a lot of people. You know what
Hey,
I mean?
Alamo, keep going for a minute. I'll be right back. Okay.
Absolutely, brother.
I'll be right back.
And when you think about the fact that therapy, is meant to, it's meant to clean, clear, it's meant to cleanse yourself out from, to the just the mental fog that you've been in from, anything from trauma, from childhood to, wartime trauma, to anger, depression, all of these things that, you have built up, welling up inside of you. You have ways to get, to get rid of that don't equate to going and seeing a coat. You know what I mean? You can go and, have therapy with horses. You can treat yourself by, going on a retreat that's like a hiking retreat or something like that. And that was the whole point of this episode. Me and Mac really just wanted to, put out there that you don't have to feel alone. You don't have to feel like there's only one type of therapy to help you out, because veterans
Jesus, dude, I'm
as a
falling
whole.
apart over here.
Yeah, I know you are.
My stool's collapsing. I yank my headphones out of there. I'm like,
And as veterans ourselves, we have very diverse ways of communicating. We have very diverse ways of, relaxing. We're not all one shoe fits all. And that's, I think, one thing that a lot of people seem to forget is like, not every veteran's not going to come down or relax or whatever the same damn way as every other veteran. We all are different people. We're still people.
Let me jump in here real quick. I mean, look at the different skill sets and mission parameters for the different special ops units. You have, Navy SEALs that are responsible for counterterrorism units, and then or counterterrorism operations, and also like oil rig, seizures and raids and stuff. Then you have guys like Ranger Battalion where they do like airfield seizure and dropping in all that kind of stuff. So you got to tailor that stuff. Whatever helps you out, if it helps, as long as it's not as long as it's not anything bad or illegal, and it's not going to hurt or injure somebody else.
That's right.
Do it. Take care of it.
Damn right, baby.
You ready to wrap it up, dude?
Yeah, buddy. Let's do it.
All right, man. So if you're new to the show, we got started a couple years ago when a friend of ours that we had worked with at one time, John, you'll hear us mention John, or we sort do like, yeah, nice. When we talk in that gravelly voice stuff, that's us channeling our inner John. And John was a funny fucker that we worked with, good, solid dude. And long and short of it is that John, ended up choosing to solve a temporary problem with a permanent solution. And that's never the way you want to do things. So we kind of came up with, the idea of doing this after we worked an event for Alamo's wife, Tisha. My hair looks like crap.
It's okay, baby. It's okay.
So we came up with the idea of doing the podcast, and then we came up with the Bros Code. And the Bros Code is kind of a way that we can kind of immortalize John and just help us, keep other people around so they don't have to go through what we went through. This right here is the pandemic that we're trying to stop. This the 22 a day suicide, the veteran suicide rate of people in the military and stuff. And it sucks when it's 22 a day, but it hurts worse when it's just one of those people is somebody and can say, I know that guy or I know that gal. And it's like,
I just saw a post earlier, I believe it was today, that today either was today or yesterday was the anniversary of one of my buddies who was in my company who it was a sad reminder, man. That's something that we take very damn seriously. So again, this is one of those things where I tell you, just share the damn message, man. Please. Yeah. We're not asking you to, pay us or anything like that, but share the damn message.
Yeah.
Share.
And part of that message is a Bros Code that we came up with. So, BROS is easy to remember. So the first one, be tenacious. Whatever you do in life, do it to the fullest and utmost of your abilities, whether it's being a parent, whether it's being there for somebody, whether it's having a fucking belly laugh at, after a hard week of work, and you're just sitting there being ridiculous. Like, you know, yeah, like I'm just thinking back to all the like the laughs and the smiles that we had out at that ranch in Webster. Like, whatever you do, just do it to the fullest. Live life to the fullest. Be tenacious in that aspect as well. Be tenacious in the fact of, whatever therapy looks like or self care looks like for you. Do that to your fullest. Okay, yeah, okay. Guess what? It's what, I don't know, $40-$50 to get a fucking pedicure or manicure or something. Okay, treat yourself. Self health and self care is like so dreadfully important nowadays. And like, if you don't realize that, you might be setting yourself behind the power curve a little bit. So just be aware of that. No matter what you do, be tenacious. Okay. R, refuse to surrender. There's going to be plenty of times when you get, just absolutely throttled or just, ransacked or just kerfuddled or whatever damn adjective you want to use out of the thesaurus,
Thesaurus.
where things just don't go right, and you get your dick knocked in the dirt, you get your face mud in your face, and all that kind of stuff. No matter what happens, just remember to pick yourself up, dust yourself off, clean yourself off, and keep moving, keep marching on, keep moving towards your goals and objectives, no matter what happens. Okay. Oh, obliterate your obstacles. As we mentioned previously, there's going to be things that come up. Sometimes with those obstacles, you kind of have to be a little creative in how you navigate around them or how you maneuver around them. Sometimes you might have to go offline a mile into the woods, go forward, and then come back the mile through the woods to come back onto the main path, whatever that case may be. Sometimes you have to dig, go over the wall, go around the wall, dig under the wall. Sometimes you have to breach the wall with Bangalore's and C4, and sometimes you do what this guy did, and just drive a striker in through the wall. Oops. Hey, guess what? We got a hole here. Hey, awesome. So no matter what happens, obliterate those obstacles and keep moving on towards the OBJ. Hit that X, okay? Lastly, S, seek out help in a time of need. Kind of like what we talked about tonight and what we talk about every night we do a show. There are plenty of times when somebody needs help. This guy knows that if he ever runs into help, he can call me, and I've called him vice versa. We've talked into the wee hours of the morning. Not we, but wee hours of the morning. Just know this: somebody's going to have your back, whether it's a family member, a coworker, a friend, somebody you served with at one point or another. Like Kyle said when we did his show.
You're not alone out there, brothers and sisters.
No. He said that there was a few people he could call that would be at his house in no time at all if he needed it. And like that's saying something. So in the event that you don't have somebody like that in your life, and you are going down a bad path and you think you're about to hit that cliff and just go off the cliff, pick up the phone and dial the National Suicide Prevention Hotline, 1-800-273-8255. That's 1-800-273-TALK. 8255, or you can get on there and dial or text 988. That's 988. That's been around since I think June or so of last year. What's great is you can text. I mean, we live in a day and age where it's a lot of digital media, so you can get on there and text and call somebody, talk to somebody. They have trained professionals there that will help you out 24/7. You deserve to have your story told, to stay around, to pass on your experience, your learnings, and your wisdom to the next generation. So please help us do that. We don't want to see anybody else become a member or a number of this 22 a day nonsense that's going on. So if you can do those four things, man, I tell you, you're gonna have a good shot at coming out on the plus side of things. So do it a favor to yourself, do a favor to your family, and do that. Take care of yourself. Get the therapy you need. Do the self-care you got to do. All that good stuff. So I'm going to pass it off to Alamo here. He's going to close us out. So,
all right, folks. If you'd like to catch us over on the social medias, you can catch us over on the social medias, and you can message us there via the instant messengers. First place you can catch us is over on the facebook.com/battlebros.podcast. You can also catch us on the Insta at Battle Bros _podcast. You can catch us also on the Twitter, and you can look for us there at Battle Bros PC. If you want to contact us directly, we have a Gmail where you can actually do that. You can contact us at battlebrospc at gmail.com. Leave us some complaints, some messages, some suggestions.
Words of affirmation would be nice too. Not
words
just
of
complaints.
affirmation, you know. Or,
Complaints.
just
I meant compliments.
yeah, or just a you guys suck. We don't care, you know, because we'll probably just ignore those anyway.
But we'd appreciate your input.
But we do appreciate your input. Absolutely. We love to actually hear what everybody likes to say. We're constantly trying to find different subjects to talk about that, you know, obviously we as veterans ourselves feel is concerning. And we hope that we're actually communicating those messages very well to everybody else out there. You can also catch us on, say, for example, if you like watching us, and you know you like watching our faces for whatever reason, you know, you can catch us over there on the YouTube where you're watching us right now live. Or if you like an alternative source, you can go to rumble.com. Just search one word, all lowercase, Battle Bros, and you'll find our channel there. You can also find every single video that gets uploaded here live from YouTube goes directly to the Rumble after every single recording. Make sure that you like, share, and comment in the YouTube algorithm, because for whatever reason YouTube doesn't seem to recognize us unless you like and share and recognize and comment and all that good stuff. But also sharing out the message actually helps get the message out there, so that way we can, you know, touch the hearts and minds of guys that and gals that really, really need it, so that they know, hey, you know, there's places out there. And on the Rumble, go ahead and hit that Rumble button. A positive Rumble, not a negative. There's still somebody disliking some of our stuff, and just, you know. But anyway, beyond
Free
that,
world. We're not the emotion and feelings police. It's all
that's
good.
right. That's right. No, but I will find you.
Wow, that's kind of creepy as shit.
But if you also want to catch us over on the audio platforms, you can literally catch us on every single audio platform that you listen to: Spotify, Amazon Music, Audible, iHeartRadio.
Insert music platform you listen to here.
Exactly. I believe we're currently live on 5 different platforms, if I remember correctly. I don't remember them right now off of the top of my head, but we're on the most common ones.
Yeah.
So go ahead and give us a listen there, folks. Other than that, I got nothing, bro.
So once again, everybody, thank you so much for joining us. If it was your first time here, thanks for checking us out. If it was not your first time here, thanks for coming back and checking us out again. We're kind of clean cut what you see, you know. He's good looking, I'm funny looking, so we just talk about, you know, veteran related stuff. So please remember to pass the message forward. It's not always about getting the message to you, it's about getting it to somebody who needs to hear it. So just remember that.
You'll never know if the message that is being said right now could be necessary for a friend, family member, or otherwise that you know.
Yeah, I mean, it's cool that we have just over 1,200 views, I think, now on YouTube. That's cool. If we can save one person from doing something that they can't take back, that's more important, because we can never get John back. You know, he was such a good guy, and the fact that he's gone, if it meant him still being here that we didn't do this show, that would be a happy trade-off, because he was a guy.
The 5 guys I've lost, that includes John.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's unfortunate. It is what it is. You know.
Yeah. So anyway, folks, like I said, thanks for stopping by, checking us out. We appreciate every single viewer that we get, or every single watch of this show or listen. It's not, like I said, it's not about you. It's about paying it forward and passing it along. So just remember to do that. 4 easy steps. Be tenacious, refuse to surrender, obliterate your obstacles, seek out help in a time of need. If you can do those 4 things, you have a good chance of being A-okay. So on that note, we're going to cut you off. We're going to say goodnight for the night. We're going to be back hopefully next week. Don't know what we're going to talk about yet, but it'll hopefully be something good, as we always try to do. Thank you again for stopping by, and we appreciate you. We love you, and thank you so much.
Alamo bidding you night night.
And Battle Bros out.
Have a good one, y'all.